Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Hey family, welcome back here to the family. Guys, I really think I should record this, and this will be like a intro song. I need to find a studio around here and see if I can record something. Telling me that God is not God. God is not using people to bless my life. I want to say a very big thank you to each one of you, to those that silently support, to those that loudly support me. You can have my heart. My heart, I'm not using it for anything. Have it, okay? So guys, on today's video, we'll be talking about things that traumatized me as a kid, and it did shape the way I thought. It shaped my mentality about a lot of things, and my walk with God currently is more or less like God is healing me from a lot of things. So without wasting much time, let's just dive right into today's meal. So a quick disclaimer: this is in no way to shame my parents. God forbid, I will never shame them. The fact that I didn't turn out to be a bad kid, it's enough. It's just that I feel like they could have treated each child differently. But no, that time they were busy making money, so they did their best. Both parents got married around my age. I'm 24, so they got married at 25. They met at 23, 24, one of them. But I know they got married at 25. And looking at me, I don't even know what I'm going to eat this dinner. So they tried. So far as I didn't turn out to be a bad kid. So this is in no way shading my parents. These are things we have even spoken about recently, and my mom was like, she tried though. My dad was like, they were busy looking for money. So if you drag my parents, with all due respect, please, I'll drag you too. Thank you. Now let's dive into this video. So guys, the first thing I will be talking about is that one time a teacher dismissed me in front of the whole class. Like, come on, go and sit down. I was in primary school by then, and from that time till now, now I feel like it's better. From that time, it made me very anxious. You never hear me speaking in public. Like, no, you're not going to hear me speaking in public. What if I speak and everybody starts to laugh? And this teacher made people laugh at me. Not made people, but we're kids. So that just changed everything about me, the way I used to feel. So I felt like I wasn't liked enough. Maybe I wasn't good enough as a kid. And I grew up with it, went to school with it. So among my colleagues, even now that I'm working, it's just recently that I'm learning to speak up, because I've come to know that if you don't speak up, you just be doing nonsense work for people, and people be using you to their advantage. I'm not going to be doing that. So I did a lot of praying, and God is still working on me, because I wouldn't even say anything. I am an extrovert, right? So me as an extrovert saying this should tell you it was bad. And I remember one time too, when I was a kid, and all these things happened as a kid. So I feel like parents should pay more attention to their kids when they come back home and they are telling them that, oh, this happened, that happened. African parents tend to be very, very dismissive, which I don't really blame them. Sometimes life be lifing. They are just trying to feed you. You don't come back telling them things that is not going to make them money, So I remember as a kid, the first time a man proposed to me, I went telling my dad, because like my dad is my favorite person. My mom even knows that. I told my dad, and my dad was like, okay. I told him not to tell my mom, because my mom is a quiet person, but she is a tougher one. My dad is tough, but my dad wouldn't even bother beating us unless my mom's like, one discipline them. You know, African mothers, right? Then my dad tells my mom, and my mom just blows the whole thing out of proportion. So that one, coupled with a lot of times people were dismissive of me, I just said, I'm never speaking up. Even if I'm dying, I'll keep quiet. I'm being hurt, I'm keeping quiet. Like, I never spoke as a child. I'm an extrovert. Mind you, I've always been an extrovert from childhood, but I was always afraid, and people made me anxious. So if I have to be in like a crowd, I have to be where maybe there's like spotlight being thrown on me, I start to get anxious, I start to panic. And I'm wondering, like, am I not an extrovert? Speaking is not supposed to be very, very difficult, but I realized that the whole problem was that I was afraid that people would mock me, and people would be dismissive of me, and people would look at me like, okay, why are you even asking this question? So I never spoke. So that thing that my teacher did as a child in primary school, like primary 2 or so, left a dent on me, and it has been the grace of God that has been shaping me, healing me to become like a very totally different person now. Okay, so the second thing is, I used to be a people pleaser, and I was afraid of saying no to people because I felt if I say no, people will leave me. And as a child, I had instances where friends would be like, I'm not playing with you again, and you are not like our friend. I don't know how, some way, somehow that affected me, because I grew up thinking I have to do everything for people to know that, okay, I'm a good person. Okay, like you can have me around. Okay, like I'm trustworthy. Okay, you can rely on me, bank on me any day, anytime. So if I look at my friendships from childhood to university, it was more or less like I was showing up for people. They never really bothered to show up for me, because after all, you are the one that can live without us, right? So that was a big thing that also scarred me as a child. And I grew up, thinking that, okay, if I don't have friends, I wouldn't be able to live. And if I'm not like this, I'm not acting a certain way, I wouldn't be able to live. And it's one thing I really surrendered to God when just recently, that I told God, like, I'm not even going to try and prove to people that I'm a good person. No, I'm not doing that no more. So I had to let go. I am very comfortable with myself now. I can be indoors for weeks and nobody will see me, and I'm not even bothered about it yet. Now, I have friends, obviously, but to that point where I can't live without them, and no. Like, we all are living our separate lives now. But as a kid, it really, really bothered me that, to a point it even turned me to be a people pleaser. Like, I would walk from my place, a friend would be like, can you get this for me? Even though it's inconveniencing me, I would stop everything and do it for that friend, because I'm like, okay, what if the person thinks I'm wicked? I beg, let them think that you are wicked. In this life, the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. You can't love somebody when the love that you are showing to somebody, you are not even giving a quarter of that love to yourself. So now what I do is I pour into myself. If I'm going to give my friend this amount of love, I make sure the love I'm giving to myself supersedes what I'm going to give to my friend. You can't be pouring from an empty cup. Let's be honest. You can't be pouring from a cup where you are not even full. How do you even pour water from an empty cup? Eja, uncle, auntie, please start loving yourself, okay? Like, friends will always come and go. There are friends who would stick with you from Kinkin to Kankan. There are friends who would come at some season, and if you are not comfortable with yourself, when it gets to that season where they are no longer, it's going to just leave a huge mark on you. And friendship breakups are very, very painful. friendship breakups are very, 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 very painful, more than like the love breakup. I don't even know why, but yeah. Guys, there's a little backstory. When I was, I think, in junior high school, I started having acne very, very early. I don't know why, but looking at my dad's people, they have it. So I think that's how come I started having acne very early. And one older woman just met me one time. That time I used to break out so bad. I will try and see if I can get pictures, then let you see how bad my acne was at that time. This woman meets me and goes like, "Hey Nishira, now what's now my pimples?" I just went in say, in my head, I think I was in junior high school, like Form 1, Form 2, or Form 3. I don't know, but I know I was in junior high school. And this woman says that on the streets, main streets, where, you know, everybody is passing and the place is like crowded. And people are just looking at me, and this woman's like, "Hey, no more money, that's okay, now are you? Now wow, when you might say," an older woman telling me that I wouldn't get married because people with smoother face are not getting married. And you know what that thing did to me? So I grew up thinking no man would like me because I have a patchy skin. Let me put it that way, because it used to be very, very bad. That I wasn't beautiful enough, that I wasn't good enough for a man to like me. So what I would do back then was that I would, you know, when a man says he likes me, I'll just be like, "Okay, I don't even need you to say you like me. We just have to have something going on mutually, like, okay, we call each other, we text, and that is how I'll think you like me." And in that relationship, I would try to prove to you that, okay, like, I'm good. Forget how I'm looking, like, facially, I'm good. Just don't look at my face. Just, God. We thank God for healing. You know, what that woman said, she doesn't know how that affected me. And in as much as my mom used to reassure me that I will get married, I'll find my own person, that like men don't really, a man who likes you doesn't really care about how patchy your face is, and even he is going to be like, "Okay, babe, let me just find you something to, you know, heal your acne and all those things." I still was not convinced. I felt and I knew, I was convinced in my spirit and in myself. That was the devil really talking to me. So I was convinced that I wasn't going to get any man to be with me, which is a big fat lie. I do have acne now from time to time, but it's not as bad as when I was young, right? And I've had people tell me that they like me because of my acne, which is totally crazy, but that's someone's preference. It made me know that there's a man for every young woman out there. So if you're out there and you are feeling insecure, okay, I have big belly, okay, I have a big back, okay, I'm chubby, okay, I'm too skinny, you have a man for you. God has a man for you. I beg, relax, rest. That man will see him, will go crazy about that chubby body of yours. That man will see you and be like, "Damn, that's my babe." Let's not go there. So guys, I just want you to know that this is an advice I would also give out to African parents, because these things, in as much as people are speaking these words over your kids, sometimes the kids will come to you and be like, "Oh mommy, this person said this." But you know, African parents are so dismissive. Like most African parents, it's just that a few of them take time to really listen to like their kids, right? So most kids out there, most adults right now have a broken soul. My kid sister was sharing something with me, and I realized how broken I was, even though I'm loved at home and all that, but there were things my parents never paid attention to, because, well, they are feeding you, they are clothing you, taking you to the best school. What could possibly be wrong with you, right? But these things I have mentioned played a big part, and it really made it shaped the way I thought at that time, even till some point recently that God started working on me. So most people out there are having a broken soul. They have a lot of unhealed traumas, like a lot of it. So there's also this thing. I used to say sorry a lot, that I would even, some things I'm not supposed to say sorry, I would say sorry, because I know if I'm not quick to say sorry, people would, so it all boils down to the fact that people will leave me. So I'm quick to apologize, I'm quick to be like, okay, can I help you, even though it's inconveniencing me. So a lot of adults out here have a broken soul. So after having that conversation with my kid sister, I realized that no, I need to desperately ask God to heal me, because it's going to go on. So that's how come people enter into friendships, into relationships, and they let someone bleed for someone else's mistake. So someone hurt you, you kept it. Now another person is in your life, you are trying to make the person pay for something he or she has no idea about. So this is to everybody out there. Start praying and asking God to heal your soul. You will be surprised at the kind of things God will reveal to you. You don't just last week in our vlog, I said something that God is building character, and there are some things, if you don't willingly allow Him to deal with it for you on your behalf, you will grow up, end up in ministry doing things, and you start getting bitter about things. That's how come unforgiveness lingers in a lot of people. Like, they have a lot of wickedness, they are not free, their heart is so dark, right? And to our parents out there, we are grateful that you took us, you prayed for us, you covered us, you fed us, you took us to the best of schools. But I feel like things could have been better. I'm not a parent, and I have no idea what it's like to parent a child. I know for sure that parenting is very, very difficult, but I think in an African home, parents should start treating kids based on their personality. So for myself, I'm a very emotional person. My kid sister is very, 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 very stoic. Like, she doesn't care about anything happening. Our third girl is also in between. She shows emotions sometimes, she doesn't. My brother is just trying to live life. I'm the emotional. So my parents treated all of us as one. So there's the same kind of training they gave to me, they gave to all of us. Like, how they were supposed to maybe speak to me. No, African parents don't have that time. But I feel like if you are a young person out there and you want to have a family one day, I think you should try so hard to try and relate with your kids based on their personalities. I feel like you get to understand each one, and you don't end up being dismissive, because if you become dismissive, that's when they are going to start falling on friends. And that is how come. And for an extrovert, it wasn't even very difficult for me to have friends. I can wake up today and get like 10 friends today. It's very, very easy. Just that the quality of those friendships, that's what was the problem. So you being dismissive would drive the kid to start talking to people outside. In the end, you are going to lose your kid. If God is not on your side, you will never have that bond with your kid. And I was talking to my dad the last time, and I was telling him how it's very easy for me now to tell him a lot of things. And he was saying at that time, he was doing his best, right? He had a lot of things going on. He's trying to provide. He married my mom at a very young age. So life was life in them, and they had kids immediately. So they were going through a phase they both didn't understand. And by the time they realized they have 4 of us, and okay, that what we did for the first, let's continue doing for the rest. And to my siblings, I don't think they have a lot of traumas like I do. I'm sure they have their own, but I had it big because as a first child, it was never easy. That's just it, right? Okay, so we are going to end the video here. And if you've not subscribed, guys, please subscribe so that we can grow our family and so that I can keep on showing my face here. I know you love me when I show my face here. So guys, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification button, and also hit the like button. And please do leave a comment. I'll be in the comment section reading everybody's comments on certain things that broke them as a child and it really shaped their mentality and how they've been living life as an adult. So if God permits, next week you'll see me. Okay, bye.